Hello there, this is Business Now, reaching you live from IBrandTV News Studios in Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, International Monetary Fund warns Nigeria's fuel subsidy may hit 6 trillion naira in 2022. Despite government limiting crypto trades within financial institutions, Bitcoin person-to-person surged by 25% in 180 days. Kenya raises interest rate to 7.5% in May 2022, first time in 7 years. Eurozone inflation rises to another record high, boosting government bond yields. Hello again, and thanks very much for joining us. And here are business stories making headlines at this hour. I'm Michael Nath. With Nigeria's fuel subsidy payout averaging 500 billion naira monthly, total expenditure on subsidy could hit a record 6 trillion naira mark by year-end. This submission was made by the International Monetary Fund. IMF's resident representative for Nigeria, Ari Aison, made these disclosures while presenting the latest sub-Saharan Africa regional economic outlook in Abuja. The multilateral lender also revealed that a macro-fiscal stress test is conducted on the country and showed that interest payments on debts in the country could amount to Nigeria using 100% of its revenue to service debts by 2026, if not closely monitored. He also revealed that Nigeria received a total of $6.8 billion facilities from the IMF following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The IMF chief expressed worry that many African countries, including Nigeria, risk sliding into a critical debt servicing problem unless urgent actions were explored to significantly raise revenue. Aison noted that over 80% of the federal government's revenue was committed to debt service, a situation he described as an existential problem. Further x-raying the fiscal challenges, he regretted that as an oil exporter, Nigeria was not only unable to take advantage of the current global high prices to build reserves, but also confronted by low earnings due to subsidy on petroleum products. With 500 billion naira monthly fuel subsidy payouts, he noted that Nigeria might end up with a record 6 trillion naira subsidies by year end. Despite government rules limiting crypto trades within financial institutions in an effort to protect citizens and monitor the technology's growth, many Nigerians have continued to engage in crypto despite the weakening naira, as shown in the underground market. On a biannual basis, Nigeria's peer-to-peer transactions increased by 25%. Nigeria now has $219 million in P2P volumes on two major P2P platforms, Paxful and Local Bitcoins, followed by Kenya with $92 million and Ghana with $69 million. Nigeria recorded over 16,000 deals each day across the country in 2021, according to Paxful. The increasing use of digital asset trading in the country is due to a variety of factors, one of which is to protect against the sharp depreciation of the native currency. According to Chain Analysis research, many inhabitants in emerging economies, such as Nigeria, use cryptocurrencies to protect their funds against currency depreciation, send and receive remittances, and conduct business transactions. Crude oil price rose to over $121 per barrel on Monday, as the increasing price of automotive gas oil, AGO, otherwise known as diesel, persists in Nigeria, with the average cost of the product selling for 780 naira per litre in some filling stations and as high as 790 naira per litre in some of them. The high cost of the product is further exacerbated by the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, which has led to serious supply chain challenges. The international benchmark Brent crude oil hit $122.20 per barrel, the highest in months, and about a $100 per barrel increase from March 2020, representing an increase of $120.50 per barrel that is sold on Monday. The rise is also despite the EU's failure to reach any agreement among its members on Russian crude oil ban, with Hungary still holding out for better terms. The Nigeria Customs Service and a consortium, a Trade Modernization Project Limited, on Monday signed a concession agreement worth $3.2 billion to digitalize operations of the border security and revenue collecting outfit. This is just as the federal government expects to generate over $176 billion from the deal. At the agreement signing ceremony held at the Abuja National Headquarters of the NCS, where representatives of technical and financial partners in the deal, including African Finance Corporation and Huawei Technologies Company Nigeria Limited, a subsidiary of China-based Huawei Technologies Company Limited. The Controller General, NCS, Colonel Hamid Ali, in his remarks after the documents were signed, stated that Nigeria was setting a pace that other African countries were looking forward to follow. Former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Kingsley MOGHALU, has urged the federal government to redefine the system of agriculture in Nigeria. In a chat with IBrandTV, the frontline presidential aspirant under African Democratic Congress, ADC, strongly affirms Africa can feed itself.
Next month is I hope to be successful at my party primaries, the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. Once I'm able to get the ticket, then we prepare for the elections and we'll go to Nigerians with a message about the 21st century leadership that we need in this country today. We just need to bring the necessary reforms to agriculture. We need to use more high-yielding seedlings to create large amounts of food from a small amount of land. That's what we need to do, and we need to turn our agriculture into agro-processing with value chains for storage, transportation, processing, export. These are the kinds of things that can make us self-sufficient in agriculture and earn foreign exchange from agriculture. We need to invest in our smallholder farmers, and we also need to make agriculture an industrial business. So we can do it.
For the first time in several months, Brent crude oil reached its highest price yesterday, hitting the $120.50 per barrel mark, while West Texas Intermediate rose to $116 a barrel. The rise comes amid lingering concerns over supplies from Russia to propel crude oil to its highest level in 2 months. The rally in crude oil comes as supplies of refined products such as petrol remain tight at major delivery hubs at a time when demand is expected to pick up steam in many countries, including the U.S. Chief Executive Officer, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, described the rising global crude oil price as a penalty for the economy. He explained that the development would translate to more foreign exchange and revenue earnings for the country, more profits for the oil companies operating in Nigeria and for other stakeholders in the oil sector. However, Yusuf said this could not be celebrated because the country's oil sector has been grossly mismanaged, thereby making the oil boom currently being experienced a double-edged sword for the country. The United States of America Ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Beth Leonard, has disclosed that Nigeria would continue to be eligible for preferential trade access to the U.S. market under the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Leonard, during a visit to the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, said Nigeria became eligible after a review of the criteria set by the U.S. Congress under AGOA. According to her, the criteria for eligibility, among other things, include the establishment of a market-based economy, rule of law, political pluralism, rights to due process for trial equal protection under the law, elimination of barriers to U.S. trade and investment, economic policies to reduce poverty, a system to combat corruption and bribery, and protection of internationally recognized workers' rights. AGOA criteria also required the benefiting country to respect internationally recognized human rights. Now, still to come, dollar shortage sparks parallel exchange rates. We have details of this and more after this short break. Stay with us. You're watching Business Now on our IBrandTV Lagos. Now to Africa scene. For the first time in almost 7 years, Kenya has raised its interest rate to curb inflation expectations as concerns about commodity prices build. The Central Bank Governor Patrick Njoroge said the Monetary Policy Committee increased the rate by 50 basis points to 7.5%, the first increase since July 2015. The bank believes that the rate increase may help to prop the local currency expectation and anchor inflation expectations, though may slow down economic growth. The Central Bank of Kenya said the decision was taken because of elevated risks to the inflation outlook due to increased global commodity prices and supply chain disruptions. Patrick stated that while the MPC sees an adverse impact of the ongoing war in Ukraine and other global disruptions on the economy, it expects it to remain resilient in 2022. The shortage of dollars is triggering the emergence of a parallel exchange rate that has seen lenders buying and selling well above the printed official rate, the manufacturers' lobby has warned. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers said on Monday its members, the biggest importers of goods, were buying the dollar at more than 120 shillings compared to the central bank's official exchange rate of 116.81 units as of Friday. The lobby reckons that the volatility in the exchange rate market has slowed dollar trading among lenders or interbank deals for the worsening the scarcity of the U.S. currency. The exchange rate has long been a sensitive issue, with most players preferring silence for fear of reprisals from the central bank. The central bank has in the past rebuked Stanbic Bank Kenya after a research note issued by its parent, South Africa's Standard Bank, said a parallel exchange rate was emerging in Kenya. This forced Stanbic Bank Kenya to issue a public statement distancing itself from the research notes, which said that two FX rates have been developing in the market. Foreign scene now. Cryptocurrency bulls took over the market on Monday, with Bitcoin leading the charge, fighting its way through the $30,000 resistance level. It was trading below on Sunday to now head towards $32,000, a price point not seen in 20 days. Bitcoin rose over 8%, breaking the $31,000 mark, driven by global investors in Asian and European equity markets climbed. The American markets were closed for the Memorial Day holiday. The rally in the market can be traced to a weaker dollar and an on-chain report from Glassnode, which suggested that Bitcoin holders are now the only ones left, and they appear to be doubling down as prices correct below $30,000. Eurozone inflation rose to another record high in Monday, boosting government bond yields as markets saw the data as a challenge to the European Central Bank's view that gradual interest rate increases from July will be enough to tame fast price growth. Inflation in the 19 countries sharing the euro accelerated to 8.1% in May from 7.4% in April, beating expectations for 7.7% as price growth continued to broaden, indicating that it is no longer just energy pulling up the headline figure. Prices have risen sharply across Europe over the past year, initially on supply chain problems after the pandemic, then on Russia's war in Ukraine, suggesting that a new era of fast price growth is now sweeping away a decade of ultra-low inflation. Though headline inflation is now 4 times the ECB's 2% target, ECB policymakers may be more worried by the rapid rise in underlying prices, which indicate that what was once seen as a transitory jump is now becoming embedded. And that's the news for now. More stories will come shortly. Stay with us.